Right, so we've got our last done in Scanny, and now we've opened the creative software. It doesn't matter if you use creative or power, but we're going to need these two toolbars, and if they aren't visible, I'm just right clicking in the gray area here, and you'll see these two are active. If I switch them off, they're not there. If I right click in the gray area, I want to be able to work with the last and the last model, those two toolbars that I've put up here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is import that mesh model into Shoemaster now. So we come to import and next and browse. Now we need to look for it. Where did we put it? We put it on the desktop, last 019. This is where we've got Shiloh 4.wol. You see this JPEG image here is those are the photographs that were taken from the scan. So we don't want to open the JPEG, we want to import the WRL. Open. Next. Import a component, import a VRML last. That's what we want to do, import a VRML last. Next. And now we get an interrogation to put in the orientation points. And we start off at the toe point, and as I mentioned yesterday, this is just the same as if you were putting your points with a pencil. You can see it there, the heel point. So these would be as if you're doing it with a pencil on the last. I'm getting them as close as I can judge them. You'll also notice that the last is a little bit difficult to manipulate at this stage because of the orientation in the scanner. As soon as we've defined these points, all of them, the toe point, the heel top, and the cone. There you go. Got the toe, the heel top, and the cone point. We say next. Okay? And finish. And now you can see those points that we've just put in are in blue here. That one didn't go in the right position 100%. We're going to fix that. So those are the ones that we did in blue. If we come, we've got all these panels here too. We've got the style panel, the last panel, and the unit. Now we want to use the last panel here. This one will give us all information about the project. This one about the style. This one about the last. If I just click the plus here, you can see I've got the last model, I've got my lines, and I've got the key points. Those key points are what we just put in. These are the blue points, yeah. See, if I switch off the toe point, the toe goes off. I can switch on and off if I need to. I don't need to here. So now what we're going to do is we need to identify these edges. That's all. We just need to identify those edges nicely. View, rotation from above. And now I can see where I was a little bit faulty here. In order to move these points, we need this function here. Edit the last model. I left click on it, and you'll notice the cursor has changed to a cross. Now I can pick these points up, I can move them, because I can see that wasn't nicely in the center of the back curve. Okay? And these points here, what I try and do is just get them nice and evenly spaced across from one another. I can probably delete this point. To delete a point, press the control key and you'll see the cursor change to a little different cross. To insert a point, double left click on the line. This is the same with all Shoemaster products. Okay, that's looking good. Yeah, I can probably delete one. That's going to be that. Oopsie. That's going to go there. That's going to come there. See, I'm trying to keep them sort of across perpendicular from one another. This one here. Got one extra one here. Can delete that. Put that there. This needs to come here. This needs to come here. That can come there. And these two can move up like this. Now you can see what I'm trying to do is get exactly on that edge. You see, yeah, I'm not on the edge there. I can see the edge. You can see the edge of the last there. See, and when I look here, don't worry about that being skew. I see this can come down a little bit, about there. I'm not going to worry that this line is skew at the moment. I'm going to go and fix the bottom first. View, rotation, the bottom. Now, I want to move these points. That looks just about right in the center. Get this here. And again, I want to try and keep similar spacing between them. Space them evenly. See, yeah, I can see. You see, there's the edge of the last. And the point is just not on the edge of the last there. Just not on the edge. Just not on the edge. There, I can see the edge. Let's look over here. On the edge there. View, rotation, the bottom. Come here and I can see where the edge must be here. So what I'm trying to do here is just get the seat area. Let's move this forward here a bit. And a bit there. And I'd say from about, say from here. From this thing here, I'm going to start deleting every second point. And the reason I'm doing this is because this area of the last is very smooth. The curve is very smooth. And the general rule is the tighter the corner, the more points you use. See, we've got a tighter corner here, more points. A tighter corner here, more points. More gentle, and it's smooth. You'll see here as well, the line has got a slight bump to it. But as soon as I start taking out a few points here, I think that's the one I want, take out that, you see how the line kind of smooths up. It gets a bit smoother than it was. That's fine. See, it's a little bit smoother, and now I can see where the bottom is supposed to be there. Okay. Let's put this here. And then we just need to go through the toe area here as well. And this, I'm not rotating the last at all. I'm viewing this directly from the bottom. And now this little piece over here where you can see it's very slightly chopped off. And it's actually a little bit skew. I think it should be here. But what I'd like to do is I want to move off the last. All of these points are stuck on the last. You can see I can't go off. So from here, if I press the shift key, it will allow me to move off the last very slightly. I think I might have gone a little bit too much here. Shift again, just move it down. Now the next thing I'm going to do is look at it from the front here and see where I am here. So I can see with shift again, because I'm off the last, that must be about there. Because I'm looking here that this is all nice and straight too. See, yeah, I can see there's one that's a bit wobbly there. That one there's a bit wobbly, but if I just move it down a little bit, that one's also a bit wobbly. Just move it down a little. Now you can see this is quite straight. Right, so everything's looking good there. View the rotation from above. So now I can see where my center is. I think I can just move that a little bit. That's all good. These lines now are skew. So I'm finished working with the nodes for the moment. So I'm just going to make a right click so that cursor goes back to the arrow. And now I'm going to come to these lines. If you can't see them, it means that the plus hasn't been clicked. And here we've got all our lines that we want. So the three that we need to straighten, that one needs to get straightened, this one needs to get straightened, and the sole line is also going to need to get straightened because that moved and that moved. So on these lines here, if I go to the sole line and right click on it, say flatten. Let's do the next one here where we can see the back. You can see that that's skewed. So that's the heel line. Right click on the heel line and flatten. See? Made it perfectly straight between those 2 points. This is perfectly straight now. So the one we need to do it to now is the cone line. You can see there's a bit of a bend there. This is the center line and flatten. Now you can see the last, this is perfectly straight between that blue point and that blue point. The cone point and the toe point. And it's perfectly straight here at the back as well, between the top heel and the bottom heel. So now when we look at this thing from above, and yeah, I can switch the last model off. I can see that line's perfectly straight. That one's straight. It seems, I'm not sure why we're a little bit bent there. It could be just the orientation of the last, but I'm quite happy with this. I'll switch the last model on again, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that little bump there. If I want to fix that, edit the last model and up. Okay, I'm happy with what I've got here. So now we want to create the last. This is an old function, create last. We're using this one, create last new method. If I click that, I'll now get another lot of check boxes here. So at the moment, the way this is set, you can see we've got in the U direction, which is this direction, we've got 26 points here. If I reduce it by 1, 25, you see it's gone down to 25 points. So from here to the blue there's 25 points. Here, there are 16 points. So yeah, I can add a few there if I want, as I want to do it, okay? That I do first, and the next thing I do here is I want to see the size and fit. This is a size 4, correct? And I'll show you how to get the fitting, because I don't know what the fitting is of this yet, but we'll show you how to get it. I think it's about an E. And this is double E. Okay, double E. So now we can see this is a right foot last, the right foot last, 4 double E. So create the mesh. So now this creates a mesh on this last that's going to be used to create the surfacing. Once we're happy with that, create the last. Now what we're looking for is a nice even distribution of the green of the scanned model and the gold, which is the Shoemaster surfacing. Okay? When I come back here, redraw the last, you can see what I've got. Here we've got the last. Now, if we flatten this, we can work with Shoemaster. I can see there's a little bit of bump here. So if I do the model again, clear the view, and put the model on, see there's the problem there. See, I can see that's where the problem is, but that's a bump on the last, I think. See, because this, if I move this down, let's just see, if we do the view rotation from the bottom, see where we are there, that's looking better. See, now what's it? Yeah, you see that's a bump on the last there. If I take this down, is that going to, you see it's interfering with my curve here, because there's a bump on the last there. See, that bump on the last there, you can see it. And if we look at the last, we'll see the same bump there. So this here we can't really fix on, we can't fix here. Oh, I suppose we could. Let's just try that then. If we take this and we move slightly off, if I do that, there, and yeah, I'm pressing shift so that I can get slightly off the last. So that's looking okay now. So let's see our result if we right click to finish, do the last again. So yeah, we want 25, and yeah, we say we want 20. It's a 4 double E, it's a right foot, create a mesh, and create the last, and redraw the last. You can see, yeah, it's looking better now. Okay. I think this year we're going to have to do a little bit of fixing in Shoemaster with this. So here we need the display to be wireline and shaded, and we can see what's going on here, that little bump. Now that bump we're going to have to fix by modifying the sole surface. So here we've got a function called patchwork position, and we choose here if we want the upper or the sole. So here I want the sole, because the upper, when I do an offset, will go this way, and the sole, when I do an offset, will go this way and this way. So select the node with the cursor, which is the one we want to move. It's this one here. And then I say offset here. Let me try 1 millimeter first. Not bad. That looks okay. Yeah, that's okay. And then I'll do the gain. Select with the cursor. I want this one here. And that one I want to offset. Let me try that by 0.2 of a millimeter. Maybe a gain, also 0.2. See, now we've got the back of the last looking nice and flat like we want it to look there. You can also see here, I've got something funny going on here, a little bit of a bump there. This one will be on the upper. So I change from the sole to the upper. Select the node with the cursor. It's going to be that one there. And if I offset this by 0.2 of a millimeter, again, 0.3. I can then do this one here, offset minus 0.3, offset 0.1. See, just getting that curve nice on the back. So now I'm happy with the last year. We fixed that thing at the back that was from the scan. Let me close this and change this back to shaded. Now when I switch the model on, you can see there. You see there, that's where that bump in the last was, and we've actually fixed it. The bump in the scan, we've fixed the bump in the scan to correspond nicely on the last that we've got here. All right. Yeah, we got it. The next thing now, if we view the rotation from the outside, we'll see that the last is at a bit of an angle here. So this is only the on-screen pitch. Ooh, cool. This is the on-screen pitch. It's got nothing. We're not going to modify the pitch of the last. You can see also here maybe we need to do a bit of cleaning up, but we'll look at that later. And this is because this was a damaged last from production. We know what happened. It came out of production. So it doesn't mean that we can't scan it and can't get the data, but we just maybe have to do a little bit more work to it. If the lasts are coming from a last maker that can send them to in the STL format, then you don't have to do the scanning. You can just go and make the thing, make the last. It's a format that like the John Whittle last makers use in their CAD software that we can do this. So last, settings, pitch and roll, pitch, adjust the pitch. Always start at 0. You see that's actually not looking bad. 0 pitch. Okay. The next thing I want to look at here is the roll. So this is going to be last, settings, pitch and roll, roll, adjust the roll. Oopsie. So I want this to be 30 millimeters away from the seat space, and there it must be 0. So 30 space 0, and you'll watch what happens on the screen now. See how it turns. That's the pitch and the roll. Okay. And now we're ready to flatten this. Flatten upper surface. We'll use default. Now the last is flattened, and when we go to 2D and maximize, we'll see what we've got here. We've got the 2D flattening. This cone line is for working in the creative software, not for technical. Okay. I want to do something very quickly here, but I'm going to make the covers. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make the outside and the inside here, and we'll get them to cut it on the Zund out of paper and make sure that the paper fits on the last. Once the paper fits on the last, well, any pattern is going to fit. If a paper shoe fits, any other shoe will fit. Okay. So we'll end this video right here.